Hey, I'm your host, BKP. Welcome to Season 1, Union Panthers Playback. Now, I'm going to have to get used to this. This is Season 1 up here. Let me go through everything. We're coming to you from Circuit World at Blairesville. We want to thank Domino's Pizza for the meal, and Pepsi. I want to thank them for providing the meal for the players and the coaches. I have with me tonight head coach Brian Allison, offensive coordinator Coach McCombs. Our guest tonight on the couch right now is Cole Wright, quarterback, and Austin Petit, right? I got the right one. Okay, wide receiver. And we're going to be talking 3A Region 7 football, our first show, so I want to get it started off. Coach, I got to go a different direction right now. I've been waiting for you for a year, okay? You ran me over last year. Do you remember that?
Yes, sir.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
I just wanted to make sure you remember, because I'm on the sideline. I've been on there for years, and I'm always able to get out of the way. Next thing I know, I just wanted to open up with that. Make sure you were.
I felt horrible.
Did you?
Yes.
No, you didn't have to, man. Let me tell you what happened, though. See, it was right after halftime, and I had to get up and pretend like I was okay, because everybody saw, me getting out, so I had to pretend. Then I had to go home and take 6 ibuprofen and try to get through it the next day. But I've been waiting for a long time. No, he was very nice, Coach. He ran me very nice. He ran me over, then he helped me up, and kept apologizing.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
I've been waiting for you for a year. I'm glad to have these guys. We're talking 3A Region 7 football. Let me go over the region for those keeping up this year. There's Fannin, Greater Atlanta Christian, North Hall, East Hall, Dawson County, Lumpkin County, and that's the region for the 3A Region 7. Coach, coming off an impressive win to open up 56 to 14, I think it was. 56-14, impressive win. Just talk about that and some of the things of the opening game, going down to Gilmer at their house and winning 56-14.
Well, it was good. We opening on the road, going down and getting a win, and I thought our guys for really a quarter and a half, we played really well, and we had a few little mistakes here and there, and kind of slowed us a little bit, but I thought at times we played really well, played the way we were capable of playing, and defensively, I thought we took care of assignments, and that's what it was all about. I thought we tackled well, and we caused a few turnovers.
You open up a game like that, and you got non-region play. Were you able to run all your plays, get to see Cole, everything you wanted to do? You went to like 7-8 different receivers. How is that when you know that you have that many guys to work with?
Well, it's good growing up with these guys. We all have a certain relationship, and I feel comfortable getting every single one of the ball. Whoever's in the game, I feel comfortable with getting them the ball.
The Panthers were able to go to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 receivers. Coach, when you got this quarterback and you got 9 different guys you can work with, what's that like? Talk about how you use so many different guys in the plan.
Well, it helps us to have that depth, and Cole does a great job of going through his progressions and finding the open guy, and it's really been that way all summer. In the passing leagues and all that, and all those that we've spread it out, and we've had a lot of guys catching the ball, and it's really a credit to the players and that we have, that they're able to get the ball, they're able to catch and run and do those things.
Austin, you had 4 receptions for 39 yards, an average of 9.8, a long one for 20, and you had a touchdown. Congratulations, you had a touchdown. How long have you been working with Cole as a receiver, and what do you feel like this team this year that you working with?
Well, we played rec ball all the way back since we were 8 years old. We've always been good friends, and this whole group of seniors in this team, we've all been good friends, and it's a great brotherhood. I've been working with him as a receiver since 8th grade, and we've really worked to grow and to get to this point. We're looking forward to a great season, hopefully hooking up for a lot of touchdowns and big plays.
Coach McCombs on offensive coordinating. I watched every game last year. I went to Atlanta. I was on the sideline, watched every game, and obviously in high school, so many kids graduate and you start. There's always the kids in practice that somebody steps up or somebody you didn't expect that turned out to ready to play. What is this offense like this year? compared to last year, and where you think you're going with this, and how many kids you got stepped up this year that surprised you?
Our biggest concern coming in was up front in the offensive line, and we've got 4 kids that have stepped up in those roles, and we're really looking there to see where they can go with it. That was a question mark coming in. I'm pleased with what they did Friday night. Hope we continue to improve. If they'll hold their own up there, I think we're going to have another good season. Our skills are – most of those guys are back with experience and know what's going on, know what we're trying to do, and I think we can have a lot of success if we will hold our own up front.
Cole, let me look here. I was looking earlier today, reading the stats, and you had 93 yards rushing. You couldn't get 7 more. Maybe. I was just checking. Just checking. 93 yards rushing and passing for 241. You get out there and you take off. When you make that decision to run, it's wide open. Do you enjoy having that freedom to take off and run? And do you like the rushing as much as you do passing sometimes, of getting out there and going?
I definitely love to run the ball. I've grown as a passer over the years. Like, I used to be, all right, it's time to go. Run it immediately after first read. But I'm starting to look through, and when I have to run, I take off.
Take off. Coach, as far as this many yards opening, Gilmer's not like that strong of a team. They're in a rebuilding year that you beat this past week. But later in the game, you were able to play a lot of different kids. Do you like when you get that opportunity when the game stretches out that you can get a lot of kids some reps and get them in the game like you did Friday night?
Yeah, obviously we like that, especially early in the season, simply because we haven't played a JV game yet, and we're able to get some of those younger guys in there. The biggest thing Friday night we're able to do is get our varsity 2.5 quarters, and then we got some backup guys, another half quarter, and then we got the JVs the fourth quarter. And it cut us a little bit short because there was a running clock, and so yeah, it cut us short on some plays. But I was good with it. We still, as a varsity, we've still got to play ourselves into shape a little bit. So we need to be able to go in there and play 3 and 4 quarters and get ourselves ready for our region schedule.
When we come back, we're not ready to go to commercial. We're going to have some defensive guys in here. We're going to talk some defense. But guys, this is our first season with you, and I can't say how much I appreciate us doing this. We're in season 4 in some other areas. This is a question I ask every player on the couch. No matter, I see 12 players a week. Every player, no matter, when you look at these stats, looks like the perfect game, 56-14. But this question I ask every player: when you came, when you went to practice today, what did you say? I can do better. I can work on. I can personally go work on this week. I need some work here and there. What can I do to improve? What did Cole say to himself when he showed up today?
Throw the ball more accurately and better placement. I'm taking long strides right now as I'm throwing, and I need to shorten that, and I think that's the problem. But I'm working to get the ball to those guys so I don't overthrow it.
You, the same thing. When you showed up today, what did you say? I can work on. I can do better. I can excel. I can improve personally myself. When you showed up today,
after watching the film throughout the weekend, I looked at it and I saw that I wasn't staying on my blocks as well as I could. So I definitely need to work on staying on my blocks for longer, as well as just protecting the ball, just making sure we keep possession of the ball.
All right, because as is me, I always say, no matter what the perfect game looks like, you can always show up on Monday and say, I need to work on this. So I ask that every week. You're going to see Andrews this week. You know the team fairly well. You played the team before. What do you think about your upcoming challenge against Andrews? That's a game. Hazel. I apologize, Coach. I had on Bob. Sorry, Coach.
Sorry.
Thanks.
It's all good.
Hazel. We'll back that up. Take that out. Hazel, going to play Hazel. Andrews is on the schedule. Going to play Hazel this week. You guys know those guys. You play those guys. What do you see that your challenge is this week against them? Both of you, just take off.
Well, we definitely want to look at their film and prepare for them, but also get ready for the season above. We've got big games coming up. and we also want to prepare for those as well. So using their stuff and get ready for them as well as prepare for the season, like as it goes on.
As offensive coordinator, what are you looking at this week that's different with Gilmer and Hayesville that you're going to be seeing this week that you have to make any adjustments for?
They're similar in a lot of ways, actually, with what they run. We expect the same front and same stuff in the box, same look in the box. We haven't seen them against a lot of spread teams, so there's a bit of a more question mark as to what we'll see in the secondary. So that's kind of something we're going to have to be ready to be flexible with during the game.
Let me ask you, Coach, when you're doing your planning off season and your non-conference games, how do you basically pick which non-conference games you want to play? You prefer staying closer to home and local competitors, or how do you actually set up this?
Well, that's what we've tried to do, is stay as local as we can possibly stay. And we have been playing towns, and their schedule didn't allow us to play them. They had 9 region games, I believe. So then we just started, picking up as the closest schools that we can. You can see right down 515 we got Fenton and Gilmer, and then in the region is Lumpkin. And we didn't play White. It didn't work out, but just trying to pick up teams that are close. It was good. We got Gilmer, which was a 4A school, which is actually 2 classifications bigger than us because we played up. So
you're a true 2A school.
We're a true 2A school, right, playing 3A. So we picked them up. Then we got Banks County was in there, which was they were a true 3A school, and when we moved up, they moved down. So that, they're a bigger school than us and playing AA. So, and it just worked out. The guy Hayesville's a great guy, and we've had a good relationship, and Andrews, we've had a good relationship with those guys, and just fortunate that we've got some close schools that we can play.
Yeah, I thoroughly can understand that. We're going to take a brief break. This is our first break here tonight. We're going to come back. We're going to go over some stats. We're going to get 2 more players in here. We're going to talk about the upcoming game and also some of the stats from this week. You're watching Union Panther football, Union Panther Playback, our first episode, and we're happy to be up here at Circuit World, and we want to thank Domino's for providing the meal and Pepsi for the drinks. Richie, take us to break.
Dave's Chevrolet in Jasper is dropping the hammer. Over $11,000 off MSRP on new Silverados. Just look what we've done to the price on this new LT Crew Cab. Save over $11,000 and pay just $32,500. And Dave Chevy is dropping the hammer in a big way on all new Chevy Malibus. Save over $6,500 and pay just $17,900. The savings are real and they're big at Dave Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead, Dave Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge, we have your new house in stock.
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: Ellijay, Blue Ridge, and Blairesville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands they stay there, and they say yeah, and they say there. 'Cause all I do is win, win, win. And if you going in, put your hands in the air, make them stay there. All I do is win, win.
And we're back. You're watching our very first episode of Union Panthers Playback. That's where we play back last week's game and look forward to the next week with Coach Allison here on the couch here, head coach. And we have the offensive coordinator, Coach McCombs. And we're also joined in this segment by R.J. Banton, linebacker, and Sean Dobbins, defensive back. Guys, glad to have you in this segment. So, defensively, last week, you held these guys to 14, and it was late in the game when they got to 14. How's your unit working this year? Game one, I mean, this is your first live game that the whole unit's out there, defensive unit, from last year. How are you guys gelling together already?
I'm excited.
Are you?
Yes. I think this is a defense that has an edge about them. And we haven't had an edge in the couple past years, and we're all finding the ball. It's really fun to watch back on film.
So, how about yourself?
Well, like RJ said, it's really exciting and good to be out there with your team and your family members. But you know, we've all got some things to work on, and we're just looking on improving and getting better this year. So
defensively, you held David Smith, their offense. You held them to late in the game before they actually got into the end zone. What did you see early on with their line that you were able to penetrate, or with their game plan that you were able to take hold of and stop them the way you did?
Well, our defensive line, they did a good job squeezing and making sure the linemen would stay off of us, off the linebackers, and we were able to find the holes and make the tackles.
Coach, let me ask you, because I asked Coach McCombs this earlier. This team this year, every year, you have a lot of returning guys, but then when you start supplementing guys in places, sometimes it's like you get a new team and you start working again on some things. Your defense this year compared to last year, not really picking certain guys out, but what do you think about your defense going into the season?
Just RJ said it all pretty good. That this team seems to be gelling well together, and the defensive side of it, and they seem to work well together. They communicate and they feed off of each other. And as long as we can stay healthy and keep everybody moving in the right direction, I think that we've got a chance to be better than we were last year. And so far that's proven that we've got our skill set within these guys is all of them are pretty intelligent, and all of them have some football savvy, and so we can go in and we can make adjustments, and they get it. And we made it one big adjustment the other night that kind of helped us, and Gilmer had gotten a couple of yards on a couple of plays. We made a small adjustment. There wasn't nothing to it, and they're just kind of football savvy guys.
When you have a team like this and things are working, and I know you want to be cautious getting into the year, but when things are already starting to work this early in the year, is what is that showing from the conditioning throughout the summer? What does that show?
I think we're still too early to see exactly what kind of shape we're in. That's what I was trying to say in the earlier segment. We need to play ourselves into shape. You can condition and you can run and you can do all that stuff, but there's nothing like lining down and playing 4 quarters.
Right,
and
exactly.
sweating it out. So I still don't know. I think that's still unknown. I think we're in pretty good condition and pretty good shape, but really I think RJ had 25 plays the other night, and there's no way of knowing exactly what kind of shape. I think we had 95 against East Hall last year, so that's quite a difference. That's a big difference, and so we'll have to see as the season goes on what kind of shape we're in there.
Folks, let me go over a couple stats, and if you just joined us after the break, I just want to let you know we are talking 3A Region 7 football all year long with these guys every Monday night at 7. Union ran a total of 64 plays the other night, 24 first downs, and passing, Pearson Allison, a sophomore, 1 complete, 8 yards. Caston Hemphill, 1 attempt, and Cole Wright, 20 completions for 20 for 30 for 233 yards. Rushing, Cole Dockery, 1 carry for 6 yards. Chad Buzzard, 15 carries for 113 yards, and Cole Wright again 6 carries for 93. Again, Coach, you've got 4 guys coming out of the backfield this year, and you got number 24 Chad. Give us some of the differences in the running game this year than last year. I mean, if I remember right, a young man by the name of Bo, if that was his name, was touching the ball for the most part last year in the backfield. What is the difference in your backfield this year rushing?
Well, I think Coach McCombs talked about it early. The difference is those front guys. We had a pretty good offensive line last year, and we lost 4 of them. And so I think that's still a little unknown as well until we get on into the schedule. So the running game and what we're doing is very similar. Now, those guys up front, which we've been very pleased with their progress, but we've still got a long way to go. You know, if they'll continue to improve and get better, I think we'll be okay in the running game. And I think it'll be very similar to last year in that aspect.
The offensive line looked like they were coming together as a unit. Is that, as an offensive coordinator, starting to see the unit play together is what you're really looking for?
Well, we hope so, and you know, it's very early to tell, and we've got about 7 guys that are competing for some spots. There's still a couple of places that we'd really like a couple of those kids to step up and take over and take command of, but absolutely they need to gel together, and you know, we can't have the success we want to have if they don't do that. But where they're at right now, from, you know, considering the question marks we had coming into this, we're very pleased. Are we where we need to be? No, not at all. But where we're at this early in the season, we'll take it. And they're working really hard and doing what they need to and what we ask of them. So I think we'll come together and be okay. We'll know a lot more in a couple games.
RJ with us here on the couch, RJ Banton. 3 solo tackles, 5 assists for a total of 8. Sean with us here tonight, 3 solo tackles. Alex Scott, 2 solo tackles, 2 assists for a total of 4. Pearson Allison, 5 solo tackles. And I'm not allowed to talk about the kickers. I've been told before I can't talk about the kickers because I cause problem if I talk about the kicker. But I think we had 8 for 8 on kicking the other night, and 8 for 8 on kicking, and then on touchdowns, Cole Dockery, 1 rush, 1 rushing touchdown, and Austin Petit, that was with us earlier, 1 receiving touchdown, and Cole Wright, 2 touchdowns rushing, for a total of, let's see, 5, 6, 7, 8 touchdowns. Stayed in that end zone. That first quarter, I tweet out, and I couldn't keep up with how many times you were in the end zone. At the end, Coach, at the end, you played a lot of different guys. Talk about some of the younger guys you got in at the end of the game. And we talked about earlier being able to get those guys in, but is a game like that give you an opportunity to see what some guys will do in a live play?
Yeah, and once again, I'll go back to we didn't like what happened late in the second quarter.
Right.
And so we kept the first offense, kept the first defense, and to start the third. Took a drive down, scored, and then we started getting some backups. And they weren't necessarily young guys that were backups. In other words, they may be starting on defense, and then we brought them to offense. I think one of the touchdowns, starting safety, Chayton Schaefer scored on.
Right.
So, we got that into the third quarter, and then, like I said, with the running clock, it went by in a hurry. And then the fourth quarter, we got some 9th and 10th graders in the ball game. And once again, it's 12 minutes running, so it didn't take long for that clock to run off. And it was good to those guys that there's freshmen, they're nervous and they're scared, and they get out there and they're able to compete on a Friday night in a varsity competition. It's really good.
Well, it's times like this is when you get down in the region playing and something happens at any time, you got to grab somebody and throw them in there. They've got some live
Right.
snaps, and it's times like this. Guys, before we close, we only got 4 minutes. The same question I ask every guy. When you showed up today, RJ, for practice, and what did you say? Hey, when I get there, I can work on this. I can do better. What do you want to improve this week yourself?
My pad level, I need to get lower so I don't get pushed around, and stay inside out more than I am. I over scrape a lot, so I got to work on those things.
Sean, how about yourself? When you showed up today, what did you say? I want to work on me.
Looking back at the film, I feel like my tackling technique could have been a little bit better. So I'm gonna put a lot of focus on that and improve on that.
Okay, I appreciate it. Look, I want to tell you guys how much I appreciate it. It's our first season together. Apologize for the folks at home if I pronounced any of the kids' names wrong, jumbled them up. I promise I will make a commitment to learn each and every one, Coach. I promise I will. Okay. That's what I'm going to do for next week. Okay, that's what I'm going to work on for next week. And you guys know I was on the sideline last year every game. I didn't miss a game. You don't know that? You didn't know that? Didn't miss a game. I was there every single game. Didn't miss a single one. The Union football team has an away non-conference game over at Hayesville Friday night.